Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm AndyRC and today I'm taking a look at another almost ready to fly micro quadcopter from tmart.com. This is the Lantian ALTI 105, 105 being the number of millimeters that the frame is in length. It's 105 millimeters long, and this is competing with the QX90 and the soon to be reviewed QX80. This is tmart's version of a ready to fly micro quadcopter racer. Now this is a pre-release model. Tmart actually sent it to me to take a look at it and to review it to see if anything needed changing, and it did. I'll explain that to you in a bit, but essentially this is a almost ready to fly quadcopter, so it does not come with a receiver. So I have added a Lemon RX DSMX receiver. I haven't decased it, I'm getting quite lazy with that, but I've been finding that these antennas here have been breaking off. I suppose you could add liquid electrical tape to sort that problem out, but I'm just being lazy and I've added it in here, put a sticky pad underneath there, and it weighs a few more grams than it should do. Talking of weight, it weighs about 38 grams. With my receiver like this, it is weighing 40 grams, which is a bit more porky than the QX90. However, it's still pretty respectable considering the original Hubsan H107D was 41 grams, and this thing is so much more capable than one of those, so I'm not too bothered about the weight. So what does it come with? Well, as I say, you don't get a receiver, you have to provide that yourself. It also doesn't come with a battery, so I'm going to be using one of the QX90 batteries, the 600 milliamp one, so you have to provide your own battery. Of course, it does come with a flight controller. This is the SP Racing F3 brushed version, which is the same as comes with the QX90. I have installed Betaflight on it. So I have installed the receiver here into the 3 ports at the front. Of course you can use any receiver, but I had this DSMX one lying around, and you just solder it to the 3 solder pads at the front there. It's very tricky, they're very close together, but I managed to do it. So we have got 8mm motors here. Now the FPV camera is an interesting one because, as you will see, there is no cloverleaf antenna. It comes with a dipole antenna, and I did have a problem with the camera initially. Okay, so it was thought that originally this camera would run off 2.2 volts to 3.7 volts, but it doesn't. It runs off 5 volts. So what they did was they connected the camera to the UART here of the flight controller, which does produce 5 volts. However, as there's only 3.7 volts to 4.2 volts going into the flight controller, when you throttled up, the camera sucked all the juice away from the flight controller and the flight controller would reset. So they have replaced this camera now with a 2.2 volt to 3.7 volt version, so you don't need to worry about that. I don't have this version, so what I had to do was add a 5 volt regulator. This is one that Gary provided to me a while ago. This guy is awesome. He makes his own circuit boards. He's also the guy responsible for the brushless to brushed conversion that I did, so thank you, Gary, for that. This regulator works very well, so I'm powering the camera off that. The camera is 40 channels, so the full race bands and channels there, which is quite nice. As I say, it doesn't have a cloverleaf antenna, which at first you might think, oh, that's a downside, but actually I really struggle with cloverleaf antennas on these micro quads because they are so brittle. When you have a crash, they completely get splattered, and I think this may be the way forward. I don't know, I'll have to see what the reception is like in the flight test, but this isn't going to get broken at all. It just sort of waggles around at the back. I have tied a knot in it there so that it sticks to the frame. So on the frame you've got 2 levels, and then you've got nylon standoffs here. It's quite nice. The only thing I will say about the frame is it does look really thin, so I don't know if that is going to break easily. We shall have to see. Also, it is using the same rubber mounts that the QX90 used. And lastly, I guess I need to talk about the propellers. These propellers look like the Ladybird propellers. And if you ever saw my thrust tests for micro propellers, you will know that the Ladybird propellers performed the worst. They didn't have anywhere near the amount of thrust as the Hubsan propellers or the Rolling Spider propellers, but because this is a 105mm frame, you can actually fit these Rolling Spider propellers, which is great, and I guess it is a reason why to get it over the QX90, because you can't fit these on the QX90 as standard. You may have seen my video where I sort of tilted the motors to fit these on, and then it works. So if you're not too bothered about having them tilted, then, you know, I would say perhaps get the QX90 over this one. But this is another option, and you know, the QX90, it is like gold dust at the moment. You cannot get hold of them, but you can get hold of this. Of course, it doesn't have as much stuff that comes with it, but you may already have a battery, you may already have a receiver spare, so, you know, it's kind of good for that. So I'm going to fly this with these propellers, but I don't have big expectations of them. One thing that I do like is that because the camera is down here low instead of up the top, it is protected much better than the QX90. And of course, you don't get the propellers in shot so much. You do get the motors in shot, but you get a clearer view, which is quite nice. And you do get some other stuff in the box with this as well. So let's take a look at that. So we have these propellers here. You've got a spare set. These are Lantian branded, but again, they do just look like the Ladybird propeller. So you get a spare set of props, and you don't really get much else with it. You get some rubber bands here, and that is for attaching around here to install your battery. You get given these things, and these are tiny 5.8 gigahertz antennas, I guess because it's using a dipole on the back instead of a cloverleaf antenna. They have given you these tiny dipole antennas. I don't know, I mean, I won't be using them. I have my own dipole antennas for my Fat Shark here, so I'm going to be using those for the test flight. You do have a couple of buttons on the back of the camera here to change through the channels, and also there is a display which is quite nice as well. It tells you which channel that it has landed on. It's using a micro lossy connector here for the battery, so you can connect pretty much any one cell battery to it, a Hubsan battery. As I say, I'm going to be using my spare QX90 battery. Just one more note about the camera really, you can see I have got a bit of hot glue in here, and that is because this lens moves really freely. It's one of those 170-degree wide-angle lens that we are used to on all of these all-in-one cameras, but it was loose, so I have focused it and added a dab of hot glue. I have also added hot glue down the side here as well, and that's because the camera just moves freely within here, so that is just something extra that I did. I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem. I just wanted it a little bit more secure, just in case it caused vibrations or anything like that. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Let's go and take it for a fly and see how it performs. So I'm going to do a takeoff, and on any maiden flight of a quadcopter, the first thing I do is fly in a straight line. It tells me if there are any immediate wobbles that are hard to see when doing flips and turns. And just as I suspected, this one flies as good as the QX90. That's no surprise really though, as it has all of the same ingredients apart from the frame. As I thought, these props don't produce anywhere near enough power for punch-outs. However, fast-forward flying or flips and rolls are no problem. Of course, the same as with all my micros, I will be switching to the Rolling Spider props after this review. On this one, they fit better than the QX90. There is a downside to this model though, as I thought the picture is suffering due to that dipole antenna. No matter what antenna I used on the Fat Sharks or which orientation I changed the antenna to on the quad, I got picture breakup. It was specifically worse when the quad was facing me despite the antenna being placed vertical. The range isn't too bad though. I would say that it was good for 100 meters or so, which is less than the QX90, but that's the price you pay for an indestructible antenna. They need to come up with a better way to protect these micro cloverleafs, because I crashed this one so many times and nothing was damaged because there isn't anything to be damaged. The thin carbon fibre arms survived surprisingly well, and overall this is a decent package. It costs around £45 in total, and I will put a link in the description of where to get it. I will leave you with some acro flying of this model. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.
Yeah.